Everyone for attending this presentation on Compliance Insight. This is a very special presentation for me, mainly because I'm the vice president and co-owner of the company. I've got a lot of blood, sweat, and tears invested in Compliance Insight. And I can say this is a very special company out there. A lot of people we've worked for have given us an awful lot of very good feedback on our services. We really strive to be value added for the company. We really try to be a little different than everyone else. We really want to be a service provider to you that adds value, resolves the issues, gets you back into work again. And that being said, let me just go through this introduction to you. With Compliance Insight, we offer hands-on, effective, value-added compliance solutions. We go above and beyond the call of duty to get stuff done. We really work with you, try to make things happen effectively, efficiently, and in compliance with the regulations. We really focus on getting things done in a timely manner, in a very proficient manner, and try to get it done in compliance. We have to balance all of those activities together. We specialize in QA and RA services nationally and internationally for U.S. FDA regulated industries. We focus on quality, regulatory, in a variety of industries. We deal with clinical operations, and I'll talk about that a little bit here later. And that is really a new service that we've offered. And we really focus on FDA regulations and anything coming into the United States, anything that's made in the United States. We really try to help companies meet those requirements. Our services are practical, they're straightforward, and they're easily implemented. We really strive to be to that standard. You're looking at here our company focus. We try our best to be practical, to meet your requirements. And I can say, if you really are interested in bringing us on board, we're very open to give you names of people you want to talk to, ask them what we do, how we did it, and get some feedback from them. We have quite a list of people that we've worked for. Some we can't obviously give you the names and info for from confidentiality, but we can certainly put you in contact with those that really like to discuss with you various things about what services we provided. Let me just continue on with this. You see here a nice picture of my partner and I. It's Cynthia Ipak. She is the one that started the company and went out there and made that great leap of faith, and very brave lady. She went out there, said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get this thing started, and brought me in to help out. And we've worked together now for 13 years at the time of this recording, and we have dealt quite a bit with a lot of things across the world, the United States, North America, Europe, and Asia. And we really look at ourselves as we try to go anywhere in which there's a call for a need for our services. Our dedicated team, and we have quite a few on our team now. There's at the time again of this recording, we have about I think about 10 people, and we have about 10 to 20 other people that are at call, that are contracted to us to serve with us. Overall, we have well over 150 years of combined knowledge and experience in FDA regulated industries. The one thing we look for with people are that they have to have hands-on practical experience and knowledge in the field in which they work. We truly try not to get people that are theoretical, that don't have that practical hands-on in the trenches, dealing with the problems day in and day out. That's the type of consultant we look for to work for us, and we really push them to make things happen in a compliant manner for you as the customer, the client, to make your company you a success. So Cindy started this company in 2000 and really offered hands-on quality assurance and reg affairs services to the pharma and medical device industries. A year later, she brought me on board. I'm the co-owner and vice president, Troy Fugate. I joined the company in 2001, and since that time we have grown just leaps and bounds because of our success model. We really try our best to go out there, offer people a value-added service. We are not there to suck you dry of money. We aren't there to bill for hours upon hours. We are there to try to make things work. Trust me when I say we will put in extra time just to make it right for you. Our recent addition, been very dedicated people. Julie Gerlach, for one, very knowledgeable, very, very impressive young woman that I tell you, she is absolutely fantastic in clinical area. She can discuss anything and everything with you. If you have any clinical questions, certainly by all means contact us and ask to speak to Julie. She will give you the straight and narrow answer on clinical operations. Our value proposition to you, I can tell you this, every consultant we send to you is going to have 15 plus years experiences in the trenches. They have to be in the trench, get their shirt dirty, get their hands dirty, understand what works, what doesn't work, why it didn't, and really try to get in there and understand how to solve a problem. Not just to give you the theory that, yeah, this sounds good, but it doesn't work when the rubber hits the pavement. It just doesn't work. We have a unique ability to get around some politics, the chatter, the roadblocks that typically get in the way of a quick response to any FDA issue. And I can say, with that in mind, our real forte is dealing with the US FDA, trying to get companies out of problems. And we look at it in two factors, reactive and proactive. We can come in and try to help you get things fixed before they're found by the FDA or issues fall apart, or as they fall apart and you have problems, we can come in and fix those issues there as well. So we have a great deal of experience in just getting by all the issues that would stop a typical group from getting stuff done. We just get things done. We try to work with the company. We work very diligently with a variety of people, but we really try to get by those things. We offer workable options for you in order to get something done, be it remediation of an issue or getting things done proactively. There's more than one way to solve a problem. It is certainly not my way or the highway. We come in and we say, look, this is what we would have to do. This is what we see. This is the issue. And let's think about how we're going to get there. What's an interim option that we can do to fix it right now, to have it functional? And then what's the long-term resolution? How can we make these things work for you? We look beyond the observation and try to get to other areas, systems within the entire company to make sure that it's not just focused in one area. We say, look, this is a systemic issue. We want to be able to go out and fix it across the board. This is what we can do as an interim, as an intermediate, and a long-term fix, and at least give you the path to get to compliance. Taking into consideration that the firm needs to be operational as well as compliant, we work extremely diligently to bring systems into compliance quickly, efficiently, effectively, and as compliant as possible to make you a success. You can't operate in a down situation. You can't operate in a data analysis situation forever. You have to have your systems in place. You have to be able to move forward. And that's what we're there to provide the ability to move forward, capacity to speak to all levels of the firm, be it from the CEO down to a mechanic. We really work efficiently trying to deal across all layers in the company to talk to people on their level with an understanding that they need to be provided. We have field experience to institute procedures company-wide that are compliant, functional, very important there, functional, and really work, as opposed to theoretical fixes. Things that look good, things that look great in the office, and don't work in the field. We really bring that to the table. Our experience is multifaceted and continues to grow. So what you see here is as of the time of this recording, US FDA and EU regulatory bodies. We have quite a vast experience, knowledge in that. DEA experience, USDA. We have due diligence. If you are looking at buying a company, or if you're looking at trying to understand what's going on, we can perform due diligence. New construction, greenfield, what they would call that, training, validation. I'm not going to list all these for you here. You can see them. Just understand we continuously add to this list and provide you a variety of services and backgrounds. We will not tell you we can do something, go out and try to find the person to do it. If we don't have the capacity to do it, or the capability, or the background and knowledge to be expertise in the field that you need, then we will try to help you find someone and give you that reference for them, and hopefully you can make a connection there. Continuing with some of the experience, just more detailed. Parenterals, large and small volume parenterals, oral, tablets, capsules, liquids, ointments, APIs, finished products, cosmetics, healthcare, foods, biologics. We deal quite a wide variety of background field experience in these type of operations. We really want to get a diverse background of people working for us so that we can understand what is needed in these areas, and if you call with a particular question, then we can give you the right expertise in that area. Our services, capabilities, and unique benefits. I can tell you this, Compliance Insight is a group of highly trained QA and RA people, professionals, educated, hands-on, knowledgeable people that will come in for you and fix your problems. We have proven track records in a variety of FDA-regulated industries. We provide all sorts of issue resolution, and these are just some of a partial list. Pre-approval inspection, prep audits, getting ready for the audit, dealing with the issues after the audit, supplier, contract manufacturer audits, CMOs. We deal quite a bit with virtual companies that come in to say, we have the knowledge to make it, we have the background and the science and technology, but we don't have the quality, or we don't have the regulatory background. We really don't want to hire people for that. We really want to just contract that out. We provide those types of services quite a bit. GMP gap analysis to understand where your gaps are in your GMP compliance. And that could be in a variety of industries. But we really focus on gap analysis. This is a proactive approach. If you have an issue with an FDA audit, 483, warning letter, consent decree, we can come in and provide the gap analysis of where are all the other issues, while also helping you fix your FDA issues. We can conduct laboratory audits. We can again do due diligence, things that company you're looking at buying, maybe a product you're looking at buying, we can come in there and look at the GMP compliance from that. Regulatory, we can look at filings across the board, INDs, NDAs, supplements, annual reports, quite a bit in the clinical aspect we deal with. We can be your FDA liaison. We can ask the FDA questions with complete anonymity. They don't have to know it is from you. We can probe various areas in the FDA, trying to understand what really the proper response is to a question, and approach you with the responses from that. We can also deal with FDA problems. 483s, warning letters, consent decrees. We can write it. We can certainly provide the oversight. When you get to a consent decree, there's quite a bit more involved with that. That deals with being assigned the responsibility by the court, and we will certainly have to sit down with you after that to make sure that we follow what is being given to us by the court. And also, we like to have some firewalls in there between the people out there actually doing the consulting, the providing you the input of how to fix the issues, versus the group that would come in and actually verify that those systems being implemented are functioning in a compliant manner. Anyway, we would have to go in depth with that one, but we do provide those services. Additional services that we provide, we can deal with quite a bit. Project management being one. We can look at a compliance project and come in and give you management over those activities. We can certainly give you consultation on new construction. What should you do? What shouldn't you do? Have us look at it. Very basic standpoint, we could at least look at it and say, yeah, this is something I would say would be okay, or maybe you need to think about X, Y, and Z. We can approach you with CAPA and investigation issues, two very closely related items that have quite a bit of potential problem with the FDA. Viral studies, looking at the data, cleaning validation, validation planning itself across the board, SOPs, risk analysis, QBD type approach, viral lot release type of questions and evaluations of data, and also clinical studies, clinical data, clinical audits, and we provide those types of services as well. GMP, GCP, GLP all fall under something called GXP, just to cover everything. And there's all sorts of things out there, from good documentation practices, good distribution practices, both of which, by the way, are GDP, and clinical, laboratory, manufacturing, anything you think of that would be good X practices, we can certainly provide you some services on that. We provide in-house training. We provide annual training. We can provide new employee training to give you the tools and resources to educate and bring up to speed new employees. We can deal with biosafety consulting on looking at clients with the expertise needed to design, develop global regulatory testing strategies. We also have an accreditation program. It is typically a 20-week program if you do one class per week. That can be certainly changed based upon your particular requirements. And we have had quite a few students come through that. And we've had people actually visit us on site and go through these things very quickly. We've had groups of people attend this. This is a program in which you set the tone for how you want to be trained. We will train you to those standards. You just have to let us know what it is you want and how you want us to train you. These are customized, so there's no running program with this. You just call us up and we will send you the application and details of this. And at that point, call us, talk to us. We'll answer all your questions and try to get you enrolled in this. Firms without regulatory issues and firms with regulatory issues. These are the reactive versus proactive approach. Firms with regulatory issues, 483s, warning letters, consent decree, whatever it is, our firm has the ability to contain the situation, to provide you with interim controls, to bring you back into operation, have you in a state of compliance, satisfy the FDA compliance issues, and then deal with long-term issue resolution. Our main goal there is definitely to reestablish the firm's credibility with the FDA. We want to make you compliant. We want to make sure that you have a successful future, and our goal becomes your goal. Firms without regulatory issues, we deal with them on a variety of topics, providing short-term gap resolution to any specific project that might involve GMP compliance. We can serve as your trained and experienced workforce on an as-needed basis. We've had several people, myself included, actually serve in companies as their part-time workforce until they were able to acquire the director, the manager, whatever it is, to fill that position. And we served in that basis just to make sure things were moving forward and there was no drop of services from the company. Our goal is to maintain your compliance status with the FDA. Understand the difference between those last two bullet points on both of these columns. One is reestablishing it, one is going to maintain it. Above all else, we strive to be value added to your firm. If we are not value added to your firm, then we have an issue. I can say this from my experience with this. We will call you. We will try to set up conference calls, emails, whatever it is, face-to-face visits to make sure that you are completely satisfied with our services. We want to be of value to you. If we aren't, again, we have an issue and we need to fix it, and we will go to great lengths to make sure whatever the issue is that we resolve it. Some of our success stories. I'll go through some of these briefly here. There will be more detail in some of these in some other presentations. This one dealt with a cosmetic and customer or consumer products company. It was a major healthcare product company in the Midwest. They had a major contract, and we served as their temporary QA department for this firm to go through, resolve all the issues. We actively worked on internal issues, deviations, unplanned incidents, external issues, customer complaints, outside audits that were going on. We dealt with a lot of internal audits. We performed all areas of operations in the plant, manufacturing, packaging, warehousing, just to name a few. We dealt with a lot of CAPA items. We followed up on these corrective and preventative actions to ensure that they were complete and the effectiveness checks were performed. We executed changes to increase the company's quality score by 40%. We saved that company from a catastrophic financial downfall and loss of a major client. They appreciated this to the nth degree. They really had a problem. We came in quickly and we resolved it. This is talking about a medical device firm. There was a warning letter that the firm received. We were contacted by this company to help with a warning letter. There were a number of significant GMP observations that were provided in this, and they had a real issue going on. The following steps we took to reestablish their regulatory compliance. We prepared the warning letter response. with a timeline to complete those activities. We provided periodic status updates to the FDA for each of those observations and notification of remedial actions that were taken for each of those cases. We trained all the employees on quality system regulations. We established quality systems at all levels of the organization. You can understand the depth and breadth of the work involved with this. We prepared and implemented procedures per the quality system regs. We communicated with the FDA on a continual basis to ensure that all those pending issues were addressed in a satisfactory manner. The follow-up inspection by the FDA was a resounding success, and the firm went on to be very successful. We're talking about here is Canadian medical device license. Dealt with a 510K and a Canadian license application. Foreign manufacturer of Class 2 in vitro diagnostics were trying to get their market products into the U.S. and Canada, and they turned to us for assistance. We worked closely with the client's U.S. agent. We prepared and submitted a number of 510K applications. We submitted those to the FDA and Health Canada. We took the following approach to make sure everything was satisfactory in both countries. We identified the appropriate predicate devices for those 510K applications. We obtained and reviewed necessary documentation from the client. We developed protocols for clinical studies needed to demonstrate substantial equivalence. We participated in the coordination, management, and review of additional clinical studies required by the FDA. And we successfully prepared and filed submissions to both the FDA and Health Canada. The client now legally markets a number of in vitro diagnostic devices in those two countries, United States and Canada, and very successful at that endeavor. API compliance. This is dealing with an active pharmaceutical ingredient company. They were going from ISO 9000 compliance or requirements to Q7A, ICH. The client was a medium-sized chemical company. They wished to produce an API for sale in the EU. They already supplied chemicals to numerous pharma companies under an ISO standard. They needed site-wide training to close the gap between those ISO 9000 requirements and the ICH Q7A good manufacturing practice for APIs. We went in, implemented a training program to teach the people to understand what the differences were so they could understand Q7A. That was a big item. All employees had to receive that and understanding what the FDA requirements were. Subsequently, the company's quality systems were reviewed. We established short and long-term corrective action to close those gaps between ISO and Q7A. And there were back and forth. The client successfully completed the implementation of that program. Global Pharma Manufacturing Compliance. This is a European manufacturing facility. A U.S. firm acquired a manufacturing facility in Europe. All systems at the facility had to be evaluated, and variances from the current GMPs in the United States had to be remediated. The project spanned 2.5 years, during which a significant undertaking was put forth. It involved these items pointed out here, plus I can tell you hundreds of more. Mainly I can tell you because I was the one that was involved quite a bit in this. We audited, remediated the USP purified water system. There were several anomalies. We trained all people across all systems on how to get into GMP compliance, where the investigation system was brought to current FDA standards. The validation program was completely overhauled and implemented. HVAC controls were established, put in place, monitored, and check systems put in place for those. the facility design, the flow of material, all those things had to be evaluated, understood, modified, and improved to verify everything was in control. The laboratory systems were evaluated, streamlined. The warehouse system was modernized to GMP compliance. There was a lot of work, a lot of activity there. I can tell you this, we strive to get things done, and it just took this amount of time to get this activity implemented. We actually were involved with the FDA audit. The company hosted that FDA audit. We worked in responding to the initial list of 483s, and we effectively gained approval for the manufacture and distribution of their products in the United States. A pharmaceutical consent decree resolution. This is a massive success story. I can tell you this was very tough. Anyone dealing with a consent decree will understand this. It was a large Midwestern solid oral dosage form company contacted us for help and compliance with meeting US FDA consent decree requirements. We went in and actually worked quite a bit. We were on site QA plant managers for 2 years. Really worked on site trying to provide a service to the company. We completed quality, operation, utility, facility, and warehouse system overhauls completely. All procedures, all documentation. We had direct contact with FDA during audits during this period of time. We provided options and viable paths to be compliant. This is really where our ability to be flexible and understand the variety of ways to meet compliance came into play. We didn't just look at this is our way or the highway. We said, wait, there's more than one way to be compliant with this. Let's understand it. Let's see what our options are, and let's understand before we make a selection and move forward what we're going to deal with and make sure we're going down the right path. We did not overwhelm the firm with auditors and consultants. I've certainly seen this. Companies come in, they have problems, and auditors come in like just a plague of locusts. They come in, they're everywhere, there's too many of them to deal with. They suck the company dry of money, and then they pull back. That's not what we deal with. We really focus on getting in there with the right number of people, working with the services that you have, the capabilities that you have, and approaching and working with you to make sure that we're all going down the right path. We met all required dates for compliance activities. We served 1 year as the operations QA oversight to assist with continual improvement processes. We implemented new investigation processes and CAPA programs. And we served a short period of time as the interim quality director. And I can tell you, compliance provided quality oversight for the first product to be approved for manufacture and shipment post-consent decree. It was a major undertaking, and it was a major success for the company and for us as well. We put a lot of hard work into this, and I'm not going to understate anyone's efforts that went into this. And it was really a major effort. Compliance completed the project with the system functioning within acceptable parameters, and we continue to provide services to the company as they need it. And our real goal out of these type of issues are to work ourselves out of a job. We are there to provide a temporary service on projects or issues. We feel that if we do a good job, then we get worked out of a job right there. But if there's something else that comes up, you'll look at us as the people that you want to be brought back in and to help you with future issues. Global API compliance. This is a major undertaking by compliance. There was a new API facility in China. We were hired to establish quality systems, file all the regulatory submissions, and manage validation activities. The facility was constructed in rural China. The project spanned 1.5 years, in which time we did the following: the facilities, utilities, the manufacturing equipment, the API processes were all successfully qualified and validated. All the quality systems were established, put in place, work out all the bugs, and make sure everything functions appropriately. We provided GMP training for multiple subjects, including Q7A, validation, documentation practices, distribution practices, API processes. We had drug master files that were written, submitted, and accepted. We were able to work with the language, cultural, and regulatory differences to the complete satisfaction of everybody involved. The prior approval supplement for use of the API manufactured at the facility was approved subsequently by the FDA. The SFDA, that's the Chinese FDA, invited us to actually hold an ICH Q7A training for Asian industries interested in marketing to the United States. That was a major request from the Chinese FDA. We actually conducted that training, and certainly if you're interested in anything like that, give us a call. We can certainly help you with that. Dietary supplement issues going on. There was a lawsuit. Compliance was engaged by a law firm to conduct audits and investigations on international facilities to remediate a potential cause for contamination. We had to work quickly, effectively, efficiently, looking for specific items. We performed gap assessments of 26 contract manufacturers and contract labs around the globe internationally. I can tell you it was a major undertaking by a number of people. Compliance investigated potential contamination of the dietary supplement ingested by an end user. All 26 facilities were evaluated and findings shared with the law firm. There were probable sources identified, and they were certainly subsequently handled. Process, computer, and cleaning validation, providing oversight and aid in those areas. Compliance was engaged by a very large international firm due to FDA compliance issues regarding validation. Firm needed to re-execute a majority of process, equipment, method, computer, facility, utility, and cleaning validation protocols. They had to be evaluated, and if they were deficient, they had to be re-executed. We reviewed all those protocols for GMP requirements. We established protocol formats. We corrected the deficient parameters in the protocols. We completely reformulated the cleaning program, implemented its validation. That was a major undertaking just in that line item alone. We performed all those tasks in the time frames that were established. All the protocols were successfully executed. The firm has passed subsequent FDA inspections. There's been no other issues with regard to this. The implemented cleaning program was successful to such a degree that the firm forwarded that process to other sites in their organization. That was a major feather in our cap, and we took great pride in having that done. Once we get started, we're not just going to come in and get started and leave you hanging in limbo. We will have periodic conferences to discuss the status, whatever you arrange for and you're comfortable with. Certainly it depends a lot on the topic, the issue that we're there working on. It could be daily, it could be weekly, it could be monthly. Whatever it is, we work with you to make sure you're in the loop. Timelines are established and agreed upon. We have due dates, we have milestones. We want to make sure that we track these things. If you say we want to have a complete GMP overhaul by the end of the day tomorrow, we can tell you up front that's not going to be able to be done. We will work with you on establishing something that is meaningful, that is something that, yes, we might have to stretch a lot of people to get these things done in the timeline that we say we can do it. But we will agree with you that, yeah, we can get this stuff done. This is what we'll need to get it done. We provide final written reports to you as needed on anything that you ask of us. We will certainly help you find the issues and provide the solutions, or give you a lot of options in which you can go in and understand what the best path is for you. Why choose us? I'm asked this constantly. Why would I choose you over X company? Why would I even think about you? I can tell you this. We make certain that compliance issues are properly resolved. Everyone can do that, yes. But we're there to look at what you need and the timeline you need it, and we're there to work with you to get it done in a program, in a process, in a system that functions in your company with your unique situation. I can't go into a large multinational, international firm and say, here's a program that works for them, and try to implement the same thing for a small 50-person company. It doesn't work like that. The concepts are there. You just have to make those things fit for you. We work with you. We work for you. We work to make sure you're completely satisfied. We value our integrity. I can tell you, if you can hear just the passion in my voice going through this, we are very compassionate about what we do. Compliance, be it quality, regulatory, or clinical, we deal with compliance, and we're compassionate about doing it and doing it right. We're committed to you. We don't come in and say, all right, here's team A, and we're going to be okay with this, and then we're going to pull the rug out from under you and go to team B. That's not what we do. Your success is our main goal. You will see the results.